We are going to look at week 1, assignment 1 in 356. So we can see here in the background we've got that pulled up, starting that first week of classes. It is due the beginning of the second week of classes. You notice at the top we've got a link to some notes. We've got that URL submission. Your first task is to connect to the server space. This might be new to you this semester, but we've been doing it for years. I personally have been doing it for a very long time, probably about as long as the internet's been open commercially. So it's a common practice. ECN has it set up for us to be able to do. There are a couple of ways that you are able to do it. One way on Windows anyway is to create a batch file, and there's a video down here about creating a batch file, but you use this netuse statement. We are pointing to ecnisdev.ecn.purdue.edu/356. So you'll see that again here. So in your batch file, if you choose to create that, you would use that along with your along with your career account password and your career account login. Another way is opening up just a folder view like a Windows Explorer, like you're just navigating through folders, and then go to Computer Map Network Drive. And again, you would enter ecnisdev.ecn.purdue.edu/CGT356. When you enter your login and password, you need to prefix your login, your Purdue Career Account login with ECN \, and it is a / leaning this direction here. So that's it'll be ECN / and then your career account login. Many of you are probably off campus most of the time. If you are off campus, you need to have a virtual private network set up and ready to run at all times. In order to access the drive, you've got to have your VPN connection enabled, which means one thing is creating it. So here's a video on how to set one kind up. Purdue offers another Cisco client that you can set up. I don't like using that one when Windows has one built in, but that's your choice if that's the one you would like to use. But you need to have the virtual private network set up so that at any point in time you can quickly enable your VPN, and it essentially changes your IP address. So if you're off campus and you have an off-campus IP address, once you enable that VPN, you have a Purdue IP address, and the system sees you as being on the Purdue network. So you need to have that set up and ready to run at all times. Again, there's a video about more on mapping drives. You can find a lot of information on ECN's website. You can find information about virtual private networks on Windows or Mac. You can find information about mapping drives on Windows or Mac. If you have any questions about setting any of that up, please contact ECN and get that taken care of this week. We don't want to be battling through those issues in coming weeks. We'd like for that to be done this week so that you are ready to go. In your mapped server space, once you have successfully mapped the drive, you have access to your folder. Your folder name is ECN made it your career account login name because it's unique to each of you. So that is your folder name. That folder name is not always easy for me to tell whose folder I'm in. Some of your login names are pretty apparent whose I'm looking at, and some of them are not at all, and I have to go back to my Purdue and try to figure out whose I'm looking at. So a way to combat this is having files inside of that folder with your full name as the name of the file. So I've already dropped one in there because I created a program that created some files. And so there's a file in there that has information for you. So open up that file. Do not delete it. Do not move it. Leave it there. You can make a copy if you want. You can take a picture, store it on your phone. But leave the file that I created there. But go ahead and make another file that's your last name underscore your first name dot txt. It doesn't have to have anything in it. It's basically so that when I double click your folder name and it loads, there are files there that I can look at that see your name. It makes it a lot easier for grading. And then this assignment is just a little assignment to kind of get to know you. Honestly, it's mostly an assignment to give you a little something to do while all of this is getting taken care of. So this is just an HTML page. You can run HTML from anywhere. You can run it from your desktop. So just create an HTML page, include your name, some information about you. Doesn't have to be anything special. Just you could talk about your skill level, what your interests are, just something. Maybe a picture about you. This is a distance class, so pictures are kind of nice for what we're doing here. Use some use some CSS to stylize the page. What CSS you know. It's not this is an all or nothing assignment. So if you do it, you're going to get all 10 points. But refresh your skills. You've got this first few days of the semester. Just try something out or what have you. Save the files into an Assign01 folder. So you're going to create this folder, Assign01, inside of your folder. And then you're going to submit the URL to the class app that I've created here. If you don't submit it, or if you submit something that does not work, you're going to get a 0. So understand how to submit that URL. That URL, once you go there, again, I've got another short video on that. But once you go there, it gives you the beginning part of the URL. It is https://cgt-web2.tech.purdue.edu/courses/cgt356/ your folder name. That is the ECN folder the folder that ECN created. For all of you, I believe it is your career account login name. Slash, after that folder name, slash assign01 slash, let's say you called it index.html. So it'd be assign01 slash index.html. You submit it, and then down below it shows you the link that you submitted. Click on it, make sure it loads in the browser, make sure it works, make sure that when I click on it, I'm actually going to see your assignment. That's your end goal, is that you submit me a link that when I click on it, I actually see your assignment, and I don't see some 404 or 403 or any number of other not found error pages. Okay, so make sure that link is working, so that when I click the link, it takes me to your assignment. Again, that link is up here at the top as well, and this will be due at the beginning of the next week. So please work your way through that if you haven't already. Some of you have already submitted some of your assignment links. That's great, but please get through this mapping of the drive and get through this beginning part, and we will start into creating PHPs this coming week.